Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hey, there you are. Cheers. Cheers and welcome back. Good morning. What's up, Mo? Mo, what's up? How are you today? LJ, YOLO. 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 Just waiting for some more people to join the stream and we'll get started. I don't know about that whole like going live and just leaving it up for 5 minutes while you guys pile in. We could do that too in the future, but I kind of just want to say hey and like chat with you guys as you filter into the room, as you pile into the room. Honestly, kind of just had a weird epiphany yesterday too, and realized like we're so fortunate. We're so fortunate to be in this space right now. Tomorrow, Supreme Court hearing in India. Woo 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 woo. They will definitely consider them commodities. They're not going to ban them. Those people need to quit posturing. Quit playing around. Ain't nobody going to ban nothing. Houston in the house. What's up, Cindy? Cindy East West. I like it. East and West. How are you today? How are we feeling? How's the crew? We have a really packed show. We've got a lot going on. There's a lot that happened yesterday. Good morning. Good morning, Ant Host. How are you? There's a lot that happened yesterday with the public hearings. There's a lot of people already out there spreading misinformation. And some of my favorite YouTubers are, just going to town with some clickbaity titles. I know YouTube's all about clickbait anyway. People always like to say that to people like it's an insult. Like, you use clickbait. It's like, motherfuckers, we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. How else do you tell people click on something? What kind of... Should we have non-clickbait? Is that the kind of bait you use? When you go fishing, do you use non-fish bait? What are you trying to catch when you go fishing? Not fish? What are you trying to catch when you go posting on YouTube? Not clicks? Tell me more. Tell me what you really want. So I saw some of my favorite YouTubers going up with some clickbait, really using the hearings yesterday to their advantage. Ban on crypto. That was probably one of the best ones I saw. I was going to try to find it. I'm going to try to find it on YouTube. Let's look really quick while we're still waiting for people to pile in the room. Good morning, good morning. Should we play this song? You guys like this intro, this background song? Still playing for a minute while you guys pile in? Pile in. Yeah, you can see like ban on crypto mining. It's a little loud actually. Ban on crypto mining in U.S. Crypto regulation, etc. by Modern Investor. I usually like him. He's got a bunch of subscribers. But you can see him kind of milking the headlines. There. Ban on crypto buying and mining in U.S. And we know who said that. We know where that came from. Wasn't it? Nope, not that guy. It wasn't that guy. It was this guy, Mr. Sherman. Mr. Sherman.
Now, for many decades, what has value is paper that represents the paper.
This guy, he was having a good time yesterday, calling cryptos a scam, and pretty much everyone in the news and in social media is run with those headlines saying, ban on crypto. It's coming, ban on crypto. But in reality, that's not what happened at all. That's not what happened. Most of the actual hearing was positive. That's what this article suggests. It suggests that the U.S. Congress... Whoa, come on. I want you guys to be able to see the headline. Oh, you can't see it. Let's move it down. U.S. Congress strikes positive tone on cryptocurrencies in latest hearing. That was the general overview, was that the Congress had struck a positive tone on cryptocurrencies, and then, of course, the news and media decided to run with the ban on crypto happening. Crypto ban coming. And that's pretty much not what's happening at all. It's not what's happening. So looking at this article, basically highlighting what the good mentions yesterday were. We all watched it in real time, and we're going to do a video later talking about pretty much what was discussed and what happens. But we can see easily that there's just an open conversation, a lot of big questions being asked. And one of the biggest questions, I know when we were watching it together, people were like, wait, why aren't they saying XRP? No one mentioned XRP, etc., etc. But I don't think that they would. I don't think they're going to mention XRP. Again, this is a long narrative. It's going to take a while to get to the conclusion. And we've suggested before in the past how no other cryptocurrencies really create the possibility to replicate the inflation model for the use of crypto by the banks. Now, they did yesterday talk a lot about how it wouldn't necessarily be lawful for a central banking authority to issue a digital currency or a digital token, and what that meant for the creation of stable coins by nation-state fiats, etc., etc., looking at kind of like how the United States government created a private entity, the Fed, to help them manage the monetary policies in the states. Again, we've said this before, looking at them likely moving into that direction, a private entity regulating a monetary policy, because central banks would basically have a monopoly at that point. So that was mentioned yesterday. It was very kind of subtly mentioning all the dynamics they need to see crypto used by central banks, and pretty much what they said, what was mentioned, easily looks like they would be using something, if not XRP, something just like XRP that had that type of escrow set up for them to use for, however they kind of maintain the inflation, basically, to prevent hoarding. And we have an article that we looked at breaking that down, but there's a bunch of stuff that we want to look at today, a bunch of news, a lot of basically people responding to the public hearings yesterday. And before we do that, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I was going to wait until maybe the room filled up a little bit more. I don't know if people, I guess we went live about this time yesterday, so we're still a little bit early. We're still figuring out our live time. I tried to change it to the afternoon, and that didn't work too well. And then I went maybe later in the morning, and I don't know. It was like not as. We're doing about 10:30, 10:45, 11, and you're like, that's not a very precise time. I know, but when I have like 3 jobs, this is my fourth job, and I'm happily here. I'm happy to be here, but trying to find a good time. 10:30, 10:45 looks like about when we're going to stick to this morning schedule. We tried the afternoon. It didn't work too well, or we just didn't try it long enough. But I had a moment yesterday where I realized after I got done doing like 6 hours of live streaming, because we just pretty much went from the live show in the morning straight to the hearing, and then we continued, that stream dropped, and we continued into the next live stream for another hearing. When we got done, I finished that, and I was just cranking through work. I was like burning through work yesterday, so I didn't really get to finish my other video. I didn't get to start my other video, but I did just post this one. I did just post this video, the Buy One BTC by Charlie Lee. Buy One BTC by Charlie Lee. I just posted that video, and I need you guys' help. I need you guys. What is up? What's up? How's it going? How are you? What's up, Douglas and Has Medic? So yeah, I made the Charlie Lee video yesterday talking about the tweet heard around crypto, basically the one tweet, and how that possibly pushed everyone to buy a Bitcoin. But in reality, no one's watched this video. I need people to watch this video, guys. Go share this video. Buy one BTC. Says Charlie Lee. Buy one BTC, says Charlie Lee. It's on YouTube. I posted it yesterday, and no one's watched it yet. So go share that video. Go share it. Go watch it. Tell me what you think. It doesn't say XRP in the title. So I notice you guys don't watch videos unless it says XRP in the title. I'll just put XRP right here. I'll just put XRP. I'll put XRP buy one Bitcoin. And then you guys will watch it. Okay? Is that a deal? Is that a deal? So there's a lot of things that happened with the hearings yesterday and the repositioning of the market. I made that video talking about Charlie Lee's tweets and the catalyst for the crypto run, and BTC dominance is up. BTC dominance is up as well. So we're seeing 44% BTC dominance. We referenced this yesterday. What is that? We referenced this yesterday. It was the chart that is on bitinfo charts.com. That's not it. Bitinfocharts.com. We've referenced this before, and we used it yesterday to look at the cost. Where is it? Where is it? Look at the cost of Bitcoin comparatively. Where is it? This should be it. It's just like weird looking right now. I guess the CSS broke apart on here or something. I don't know. Where is it? Well, we were using this yesterday. We were looking at the chart basically to see the price between average transaction fees. And basically what just happened is, Ethereum passed Bitcoin for average transaction fees, and that's pretty big. That's pretty big news. Mainly because, people are always complaining about Bitcoin and complaining about the transaction fees, etc., etc. And what that means specifically, is that enterprise solutions are probably going to pull back from launching on Ethereum if it's going to cost them a bunch of money. And so I was trying to pull this chart up really quick, and we have some articles that are going to reference what this means and why it's benefiting Codius, etc., etc., etc. So let me just find this chart really quick, and you guys be patient with me, and we'll find it really quick. Honestly, I think this is the site that we were using, and it looks like it's something weird happened to it, or I don't understand what happened. I don't know if the CSS broke or what, but we were looking at this yesterday. It had a comparison for the average cost of the transactions for Bitcoin, the average cost of transactions for Ethereum, and we were looking at basically the idea that Ethereum's costing money to use, and you're like, well, great, who cares? Who cares? Shush. BTC dominance is up. It's up to 44%. Bitcoin's up above 7,400. XRP is still under 50 cents. Dropped under 50 cents this morning. The only thing in the green was Cardano and Dash earlier this morning, and even Cardano's now lost that green. And still seeing BTC dominance up. BTC dominance is up 0.2%, even though we've lost some actual price. Now, here's the idea. Let's just run through the news. We'll get to it when it happens. I don't know why that chart's not working. It's kind of irritating me. I keep going to look at it. U.S. Congress strikes positive tone on cryptocurrency in latest hearing. So we can see the phrasings around cryptocurrencies is starting to take a realistic position where they understand, like, Ethereum was an ICO when it was an ICO stage, and now that it's functioning and working, it's not ICO. It's basically a true cryptocurrency. It's cleared of any security regulation scrutiny. But the reality is that this means that the coins can have different states based off of their pre-release and post-release and what their function is and what their utility is in the market. If they only hold a investment vehicle type model then they are considered securities. If they do have a functional blockchain infrastructure that has a real-world use case, then yes, it is cleared of being a security, and it becomes a working blockchain. So, interestingly enough, what I think, I think what's happened basically is just the beginning of the conversation of how we're going to move forward from here. They did mention yesterday that central bank authorities should not have the ability to create currency because it'd be a monopoly on their part. And so, what are we looking at? We have Bitcoin trading volume up 100%. So looking at the Bitcoin trading volume hitting a real solid spike. And if you go back and look at the actual numbers for the volume, we actually saw XRP above Litecoin, and it's still above Litecoin. So XRP's volume's above Litecoin right now. And again, looking at it needs to double in volume before it can take Bitcoin Cash. And I'm excited about that moment when it happens. But you can see even back at the market cap ranking, Stellar passed Litecoin, and you have it maintaining that position above $5 billion, about $400 million more than Litecoin, and that potentially has some strong indicators. But again, looking at the volume for these tokens, a lot of volumes up. But what does that mean looking forward? Ripple news: XRP is not a cryptocurrency. Expert warns big dip in value. I saw this today, and I thought it'd be fun to cover because they really just like all the other headlines that are kind of just like flailing red warning signs. There's not a lot of reality. There's not a lot of reality at the foundation of this comment. What's interesting to look at is this one line right here. This is the guy making their call. The Anatoly Costella, CEO of the Elpis Investments, told Express that Ripple's XRP is set to miss out because it's not digital fiat and it's not real money. But that's what we've been saying the whole time. This is why we keep saying XRP is going to work, is because it's not either one. It's not like a, it is a true cryptocurrency, I think, but it has a specific function for it to mimic the economic model that they need for the inflation model, basically, for fiat to work, the counter hoarding model. But in reality, what's really funny is that they kind of nail it on the head. They said it's not either one. It's not a digital fiat, and he thinks it's not a true cryptocurrency. But because of that, this is basically what you can see is being highlighted for the potential of XRP. It's potentially the reason they will pick this as a global standard. And again, looking at the people, Ripple Labs having some real foresight, some really, really strong foresight, probably greater foresight than even the people in the committee have right now looking at this space. And so kind of like Steve Jobs building out the operating system that they needed for the computer they were about to build, Ripple Labs built out the digital monetary structure that the global monetary policy is going to want to look at how to use. So I know Stellar just had a huge run because of their IBM partnership announcement, but a lot of that's just the response to the news. And honestly, the response to the news, specifically the response to the news that they have, shows they're just trying to basically manipulate and use that information against us, is my personal opinion. So you can see exactly why they're saying Ripple is in a dangerous position, is why it's actually positioned to be number one. The foresight of Ripple Labs to understand the inflationary model of our current economic system and why they need to have that escrow set up, and why the standalone cryptocurrencies with their basically upside down pyramid model is the opposite of wealth redistribution or wealth equality. And that's potentially important because they're saying that if we continue at this rate right now, everyone that holds a certain amount of Bitcoin just continually gets richer and richer. People left behind get nothing, and you might think that's okay. You might be like, that's fine because we have XRP, we have Bitcoin, we're good to go. But for the structure of society, for the distribution of money, honestly, I think that's important, and that's why the conversation didn't even head this direction yesterday. But they did talk momentarily about how they were like, how do we keep the USD power? That was the only question they really had, was like, how do we make sure the US dollar does not lose soft power? And the answer was, you better do it right. You better be the best currency to use, the most efficient, and the most useful. And that was the answer. That was a good answer. That was actually a great answer, because you know that they're going to realize potentially, like, it's too late to maintain domination if you lose domination. Like, if you lose currency dominance, it's kind of hard to go back, right? So basically, that's the reality. That's the reality. Ripple Labs, really strong economic foresight, the ability to see the potential of this model that they'll need for the combination of digital token, fiat, and cryptocurrency paired together. Digital asset investor, what's up, dude? How are you? They are at camp. That's right. They have their witch party, their witch party until tomorrow. Very true. So there's a potentially something that is in this docket I want to get to really quickly. So U.S. Congress calls for ban on crypto buying and mining. And you can see these kind of headlines are going to be thrown around for another few days. Congressman calls for ban on crypto buying and mining. Looking at the Modern Investor, wherever I just did a search and pulled